Dr. Jue, what is the research report about?
So it is a comprehensive, a policy-oriented study of China's development finance. We study multiple actors, Chinese actors' role in practicing development finance, both domestic development finance and overseas development finance. We study their approaches, their policy preferences, their strategic guides from the top, but also the dynamics from the bottom. We study their innovative approaches in multilateral development finance activities, as well as in bilateral co-financing projects.
And what is the main conclusion of the report?
It's a long project and a long report, so there are multiple conclusions. The important ones include, first of all, China's development finance is complex, right? It involves all kinds of actors, ranging from top-level strategic makers, the central authority, all the way to ministries, policy banks, commercial banks, SOEs, private companies. They all have different approaches, objectives. They coordinate, but they also compete. They also sometimes tread on each other's toes, create problems for Beijing. So it's very complex. In order to understand Chinese development finance, we need to understand each of their priorities. Another conclusion is China is active and creative in forming collaborations in multilateral developments, but also in co-financing, because it allows China to share responsibilities, pool finance resources, also expose themselves to international standards. So they are quite enthusiastic in collaboration. But of course, we identify problems, right? Chinese development finance is unique. It is a state-backed, loan-based kind of finance. It is concentrating on infrastructure to a large extent. It often is criticized for low transparency, also exclusive approaches, in the sense that it does not, it's more government to government. It involves less of sub-state and local level actors in the partner countries. So it also generates complicated environmental and the social implications. So there are problems. Also debt sustainability, and we also offer policy advice. There are policy implications.
And so before we get to the policy implications, why is all this relevant for us here to know?
Right, because China is the world's largest provider of a sovereign fund for development finance. It's large scale. When the scale is there, you have to pay attention, right? And there are already a lot of attention towards Chinese development finance, of course.
China is the elephant in the room.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you recommend we here in the Netherlands, or in Europe for that matter, do with those with the findings of your report?
It's important to engage, but of course engage critically, be aware of geopolitical implications such as debt sustainability, strategic purpose of Chinese overseas expansion, right? The dependency. So with that in mind, to engage actively will generate benefits. Europeans, the Dutch especially, can bring expertise in the fields such as water management, urban planning, setting up high environmental standards, agriculture, right? And the Europeans' selling point should not be cheap capital, but high quality, accountability. On the other hand, China has finance, right? Wider scale, and it's reached out to all over the world. It's known for high speed, known for good in infrastructure, right? So I think there should be complementary to each other.